Okay, real quick for the dumbasses in the back. Child support, okay, is a reimbursement. You see, because I already spent that on the child. You dig what I'm saying? You give me $200 in child support. What the think I'm out here buying with $200? Okay, y'all think we out here buying cars and houses? And child support is a reimbursement.
Child support is not reimbursement. If it was reimbursement, then what the hell happened to your 50%? But not only that, what is the expectation that he pays you $1,000 a month to cover the gap in your overspending because you rather buy your children 3 pairs of Jordans rather than just going to Walmart? Not only do you overspend, you expect your overspending, like your hair, your nails, and all of the things that you do for yourself to be covered within his child support payment. And what is the expectation that he pays you $1,000 a month to where he's so destabilized that he ends up homeless, living on his mom's couch, and then you don't even want him around his kids because he doesn't have a place of his own? Or the kids don't have their own bedroom? Like, make it make sense. How about you give him more time, you give him extra time, you give him 50-50, and y'all just split it. Y'all overspend with the expectation that child support is gonna cover the gap, and child support isn't meant to cover the gap. It's meant to be one household payment. And not only that, is so many women have babies with these deadbeats that were deadbeats before you even had babies with them, but then you're so shocked when the judge orders $200 in child support. Like, make it make sense. Oh, but wait, he's not involved because he's a freaking loser, and he was a loser before you had a baby with him, and now you're pissed because he didn't step up to the plate and a baby didn't change him. And before you come at me in the comments and say, oh, well, I have electric and I have food, and you name all of the things that make you an adult, you'd have those bills with or without having a child involved. And most of y'all make the same mistake over and over again. You have multiple baby daddies, multiple children. You couldn't afford the first one, and you keep repeating the same cycle expecting different results. And at the end of the day, most child support is based off overnights, it's based on income, and it's based off all of the things that you present to the judge, and it's just a number system. So again, I have to say, if you expected more child support, you shouldn't sleep with bum-ass losers that can only be held responsible for $200 a month. Okay, bye.
And it also brings up another question. What exactly are you being reimbursed for? Well, I can't get my nails done because, well, I can't get my hair done because, neither can the man. You just had a child. So the money that you had to get your hair and your nails done, that money now goes towards a child. But like she was saying, what you're doing is taking the money and using it for stuff that honestly you can no longer afford. Basically leading to you want that man to continue to support your lifestyle.
I saw a quote on here today that said 93% of all women will claim that their exes are narcissistic. Meanwhile, 98% of all women will claim that all men are cheaters, liars, and manipulators. And the real question is why are we always pointing the finger towards the men? Because how many times a day do women come on this app and say that they broke up their family because they were bored? They left the man of their dreams to find the man that they deserve. 9 times out of 10, these women come on this app and they show their narcissism, they show their sociopathic behaviors, they show their main character energy behaviors, and never once do they look in the mirror and wonder if they're narcissistic themselves. And at this point, if all men are narcissistic and abusive and all of these things, then why are there still so many single mothers? Is it not weird to still want a healthy relationship, but you're going into it with the mindset of the assumption that this man is abusive? Or are you setting it up for yourself so then you can claim that he was abusive, so then you can dodge accountability for picking wrong in the first place? Women have created this entire narrative so they never have to look in the mirror for the poor choices that they make, and so they can dodge their own accountability. And think about this for a second. Think about how many women also go into like dating situations, situationships. You know, they marry people with the assumption that the man is going to be abusive. You're going into a relationship with a negative headspace from the beginning, expecting a positive result. And some of y'all can't understand why you have such unhealthy relationships. And the crazy part about it is so many women are like, oh, men can't create peace. Men are such chaotic characters and men are this and men are that. But you're literally going into relationships like manifesting a toxic relationship. And then when you actually create said toxic relationship because you're manifesting it and assuming that all men are narcissistic, then you turn around and blame the men. Like, can someone make it make sense? You just can't convince me that at this point, the majority of women are not more narcissistic than the men. It's just not studied, because you'd have to actually admit to yourself that you're part of the problem, and women don't do that. Okay, bye.
Honestly, I think when they claim 93% of all men are narcissists or their exes are narcissists, it's just because it's just another coping mechanism, just another way to deflect blame, just another way to avoid accountability as they do.
I don't know what man needs to know and understand this, but if she tells you that she needs space and you give her space when there's an argument, but then she gets mad at you for taking that space, just know that she's trying to control you and manipulate you, and it is a form of manipulation and an imbalance of power to control your emotions and situations that she creates. The majority of women that do this, that give the silent treatment, lack the emotional maturity to have an adult conversation, and they want you to chase them and give them the sense of being wanted and needed in situations that are unhealthy, to control the power dynamic, to know that you're always going to come back to them even though they're treating you like shit. Yes, this is different than just taking space to cool off. This is to intentionally punish you and hurt your feelings, which is why it makes it manipulative. A person that loves you is not going to put you in a position where they're trying to control your emotions and make you intentionally upset. A woman that loves you is actually going to communicate with you. And a person that is healthy, regardless of the situation, is never going to give you the silent treatment as a form of control and manipulation. Okay, bye.
You're not a loser because you make $50,000 a year before taxes. You're a loser because despite all of the effort women have put in the last 5 years on this app trying to explain to you what they want in a partner, you still go on the internet finding other losers that you would rather listen to about what women want. We have created maps, diagrams, graphs to help the horse get to the butter. But because you would rather value what other men say what women want over what we say we want, you're lonely and a loser.
We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. What we have is a female delusion epidemic. There is no amount of graphs, charts, diagrams, self-help books. There is no amount of information that's going to help men keep up with the delusional reality that a lot of these women live in. You want somebody who is interested in you, but not too interested. You want somebody to text you back fast, but not too fast that he seems desperate. You want somebody to plan dates, but plan dates the way that you would plan them. Otherwise, it doesn't count. You want men to make $100,000 a year while working 20 hours a week and still being home with your kids, if you have kids, and take on kids maybe that aren't even his in the first place. You don't want Cheesecake Factory, but you also don't want McDonald's. But then you also don't want him to spend all of his money and be broke. And you speak on men coming on this app to listen to other men talk about what women want. But the reality is that how many women come on this app and listen to that we hear all day long about narcissism, that every single person that you meet is a narcissist, and everything is a trauma response, and everybody needs therapy, and everything is labeled to avoid your own accountability. Come on this app and talk about broke loser epidemic. Meanwhile, y'all aren't even making $50,000 a year. You can't afford your own rent without living with somebody. You can't afford to live without government assistance, depending on your parents, or some of you depending on your ex-husband. But y'all never want to have that kind of conversation. Not to mention the amount of massive credit card debts that most women have to maintain their lifestyle, which is a lifestyle that they can't even maintain. So they're looking for a man to sponsor them. There is no diagram in the world that is going to help a man understand what you want, because you don't even know what you want yourself. There is no book or diagram to help men understand your ever-changing emotions, and everything is based off of how you feel that day in that moment, whether you've eaten a sandwich, whether you drank your water, whether you've gotten enough sleep, whether you're eating correctly. All of these things add up, and even if that man reaches everything that you've ever asked for, the goalpost will always change. And let's be honest, men have already told you what they want. They want women who are in shape, who are respectful, which means they're not showing their butt cheeks on the internet, which most women don't do. More women are on OnlyFans than there are school teachers. They want women who want to have sex with them, and y'all are too busy out here making excuses like, oh, I have a headache. Oh, I don't feel like it. Oh. And God forbid a man asked you to make him a sandwich, and now all of a sudden that's beneath you because he's not the prize. Again, based on what you've seen and what you've listened to on the internet from other women. Men have literally such a short list, and the majority of women can't even meet it. Not only that is they expect these men to turn around and be emotionally in tune, supposedly read their graphs and their, self-help books and learn to be emotionally in tune, but most of y'all won't even make a man a sandwich. Most of y'all won't even give up your validation on social media to have a healthy relationship, but y'all don't want to have that kind of conversation either. And most of y'all want them to show up with their wallets open when you're not even emotionally in tune yourself, when you're not putting out yourself, when you're not meeting any of his needs, but he's supposed to lead with his wallet and he's supposed to cater to you. Is that not a delusional world that women live in, and it's all wrapped up in narcissism and materialistic that you've been told on the internet, or is it different? Okay, bye.
Well, to kind of respond to what she said myself, a lot of modern women talk about what they want, but they actually don't know what they want. So they get out here and they confuse men, and they actually confuse themselves. So you're not really being as clear as you think you are. So you need to lower your tone.
Does nobody ever talk about the way that so many fathers in high conflict co-parenting situations stay silent because they don't want to make things worse? They stay silent in what they really want involving their children because they know it's going to be used against them, and they were only going to make it worse for themselves, or they're going to create conflict that they don't want their children to see. How many times as a father have you given up more time because you knew if you spoke up, it was only going to cause more problems and more issues for you? But also, on the flip side, you didn't want to make your kids feel bad by missing a field trip, or missing basketball practice, or missing baseball, or missing cheerleading, or missing a sport, or hanging out with their friends, or having a sleepover during your time just to keep the peace. But meanwhile, mom, if she misses one single weekend, she's up your ass. If she misses one single day, she's making you feel bad. If she doesn't get her way, she's making you feel bad. If things don't go her way, then all of a sudden your new girlfriend is the reason that the two of you can't co-parent, and your new girlfriend is suddenly so jealous and dangerous. And everything is your fault. And the real reason you can't co-parent is because you're too busy not acknowledging her needs. Even though you've kept quiet, you've missed time with your kids just to keep the peace. And the real question is it even co-parenting, or is she just keeping you in the loop? Is she only telling you things that benefit her to either get more time or take more time from you? And let's be honest, sometimes the only reason that some of these so-called co-parenting relationships work is because these dads stay silent in situations that make them uncomfortable, make them sad, make them miss time. And some of y'all will never acknowledge it because acknowledging it would mean that the women are the problem. Okay, bye.
Someone needs to tell the men, okay, when you get a bad bitch, you get a bad bitch. And we don't put up with shit. So whatever you're doing over there, it's not going to work over here. I guess we have standards. I don't know. Meet them.
Any woman that is a self-proclaimed bad means that she doesn't know how to communicate, and she doesn't know how to take constructive criticism, and she puts herself on a pedestal and expects you to do the same. When she says that she's a bad means that she doesn't take any constructive criticism, and the only type of friendships that she has is the validation that she gets on social media. When she says that she's a bad means that she's not going to ever communicate with you, it's going to be her way or the highway. When she says that she takes no shit, what she really means is that she's going to dismiss anything that you feel unless it validates her feelings and her opinions. When she says that she takes no shit, it means that she expects you to give her everything while she gives nothing in return. She wants praise and validation for simply being an adult and paying her bills. And if she says that she's ambitious and successful, then why does she have to constantly brag or prove her worth to everybody if she takes no. These are the types of women that want their boundaries and their standards to always be respected at all times. But the moment that a man has boundaries, standards, or expectations, then suddenly he's toxic and controlling. These are the types of women that have badass attitudes and call it bad behavior. But what they really mean is that they will never respect you and they will never treat you as a human being. And they want you to be on the level of self-esteem that they're at, which is usually pretty low. These are the types of women that you need to stay far away from, because any woman that has any self-respect doesn't need to prove their worth by being a bad or treating other people like shit. Okay, bye.
Any and everything. And they're going to try to manipulate you into buying them whatever they want at any point in time, groveling, begging, and the like. Stay away.
So let me get this straight. When women are ready to leave, they spend months planning on how they're going to leave. They tell their friends, they tell their family, they lie to their husband's face for months at a time. They stack money. They might get their own apartment. They might even have a plan to set up their kids at different schools. But they don't see that as deceitful or dishonest or harsh, and they don't understand why men are blindsided when women do this. And these women are actually praised. They did the right thing. He was so toxic. He was so horrible. He was blah, blah, blah. All the things. Yes, queen. And no, I don't mean violent situations. I'm talking everyday relationships where the woman finally says that she had enough and she's claimed to be checked out for months at a time and she decides to leave. But when a man does the exact same thing in the exact same way, now he's a piece of shit. In fact, he won't even have his ducks in a row. His idea of leaving is to go sleep on his parents' couch for a couple of days and come back and try to reconcile. But yet, the men are just the pieces of shit. And the craziest part about it is if these women have kids and they bring the kids with them, there's little to no consequences for them bringing the kids with her. But if a man were to do the exact same thing, he would be looking at kidnapping charges or child endangerment, and he's going to now have to fight for his kids regardless now that she's taken them. But if he takes them, all they have to do is bring a sheriff over and bring them right back to mom, and she doesn't really have to fight for anything. And these women will try so hard to claim that they communicate, but their idea of communicating is passive aggressiveness, the silent treatment, you should just know. Or my favorite line is, it's whatever. And a lot of times these men will actually think that it's just a rough patch in their relationship and they're hopeful that they'll make up with their wives and their girlfriends. Meanwhile, the women are out here getting whole ass lawyers and looking at divorce. And the crazy part is that women are actually praised for being this deceitful and this dishonest, but when men do it, they're a piece of shit. I don't know what man needs to know and understand this, but if she is inconsistent with you, she does not like you. It is not rocket science. It is not a puzzle piece that you need to sit back and figure out. It is not like you need to sit there and give more to her and feed more into her. If she is inconsistent with you, she doesn't like you. Y'all will sit there and make excuses for her. Oh, she's on her period. Oh, she doesn't feel good. Oh, she has a hair appointment. Oh, she's taking care of her nails. Oh, she's going on a girls trip. A lot of y'all need to understand that inconsistency means that she is not interested. A woman that is interested in you is going to be consistent in her communication, the way she communicates, in her time that she is spending with you. She is going to be consistent with the way that she shows up for you. If you are confused about a woman, she doesn't like you. She's not interested. A lot of you love to make excuses. Oh, she's busy. Oh, she has a modeling thing. Oh, she has another job. Oh, no. People make time for what they want. They will find excuses for what they don't want. If she is making excuses for you or she is inconsistent, she doesn't like you. Okay, bye.
Don't waste your time, man. These modern women thrive on wasting your time, other people's time, your money, your energy. That time that you could have spent in the gym or just chilling by yourself, thinking of a business idea, you spent messing with her, chasing her around. And I'm telling you from experience, don't do it. Don't do it. Their mind changes like the wind. They don't know where they're going. Oh, I want to go here. Oh, I want to go do that. And then when they flake, they have, oh, I'm so sorry. I just had to do whatever it is. They will waste your time.
She uses any of the following phrases, she's likely a master manipulator, so let's just get into it. If she starts off a sentence with, a real man would never, ... fill in the blank. No woman wants a man that ... fill in the blank. If she starts out a sentence that says, oh, if you were a real man, you would ... fill in the blank. Another way to know that she's a master manipulator is that she's going to start small arguments where she's repeating herself over and over and over again. And then she's going to pretend like she doesn't understand just to basically make you frustrated so she can turn around and blame it on you. She tries to tell you that you're emotionally unavailable, but anytime you've tried to be emotional with her or open up with her, she shuts you down, which means your emotions are tied to however she's feeling in that moment. Another way to know she's a master manipulator is anytime that she actually apologizes or maybe admits fault in maybe a small disagreement, she'll say that you pushed her to be that way or act that way, or you pushed her to be emotional and erratic, and she'll still blame you for it. And last one, and probably most common, is that women will say things and you will effectively repeat it back to her. And if it's not what she wants in a disagreement or an argument, she will spin it and she will change the wording and change it. Even though you've repeated back to her exactly what she said, she's going to twist it and turn it into something else to still make you at fault. I can make a ton more videos about ways that women are master manipulators, but these are the top ways that you know that she is a manipulator. Okay, bye. The dumbest thing a man can do is date a single mom, and I'm saying this as a single mom myself. The only exception to the rule is if the man has kids himself and he's a single dad. That's the only rule that is the exception. And I say this because, one, it's stupid as a man to take on somebody else's kids when you don't have kids of your own. Now, do I think it makes women less valuable? No, I think that's a stupid rhetoric. But the idea that you're going to get emotionally attached to someone else's kids, and then if you break up, never see them again, y'all are stupid. But not only that, it's like, as a single mom, I don't want to date somebody that doesn't have kids because he's not going to be in tune to automatically or naturally or organically be the dad. But also, if I didn't have my daughter, I wouldn't be out here trying to date a man with kids. Like, I get the logic behind it because I'm not going to be emotionally invested in somebody else's kids. Now, in my opinion, if he has kids and I have kids, then we're both equally risking the same thing if it doesn't work out, if that makes sense. Like, me as a single mom, I would never date someone with no kids. Like, so I don't know why women get so offended when men are like, oh, I don't date single moms. Like, I totally get it as a single mom myself. There's too much risk and not enough reward. Okay, bye.
It's not all men, are we sure? Every single experience I have with a man reinforces the idea that it is all men. Everyone I know has a story about a...
Let's just put this into perspective. The reason why you don't hear about the good guys is because the good guys are getting ghosted. Your friends are leaving them on red. The good guys are not being chosen because they're not attractive enough. The good guys have given up altogether. The good guys recognize red flags and have boundaries, so they leave the situation before it gets out of hand. Not to mention, the good guys can recognize when they're being used, because guess what? You'll make the good guy wait 3 months before he can get in your pants, but the toxic dude can go on 1 date and y'all are sleeping with him. You're not going to hear about the good guys from your friends because it doesn't give them the validation and the sympathy and the attention that they so desperately seek. Because 9 times out of 10, women are only friends with other women because they are validated by each other. So you're not going to validate your friend who is happy even when her wedding ring or her engagement ring is small. Women are more likely to say, oh, just wait till he cheats on you. Wait till he lies to you. Wait till he shows his true colors. Girl, you're love bombing. You guys literally connect over negative experiences, and then you're wondering why you never hear about the good men. Good men don't want to be around women who get on the internet and talk about men being all the same. Good men don't want to be classified as narcissistic pieces of... You literally just said it yourself in your video that all men are the same and that you have your own experiences. So you're classifying these men as all while simultaneously expecting to find a good man. Somebody make it make sense. But not only that, is your friends will treat the good men like shit and then not take any accountability for it. Your friend might cheat on a dude and say that, he was emotionally not connected with her, and y'all will validate that too. You're not going to hear about the good guys because the good guys are never going to get you the amount of sympathy and attention that you crave. Okay, bye.
That's a good point about the good guys. They're not even thinking about them. They just leave them on red, like you said. They ghost them. Oh, well, out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind, because you keep on ignoring them. And then when a guy comes up in your face and he dogs you out, all of a sudden you want to run back to the good guy and cry to him about how all men are terrible. And you want that good guy to agree with you, heal you up, just so you can get dogged out, cheeks clapped again. Pass.
I don't know what man needs to know and understand this, but the majority of women that will call you toxic or narcissistic are the same women that were unable to control you. Let me explain. You have to understand that as soon as a woman cannot control you and her only goal in the world is to control you, she's going to call you toxic and narcissistic for holding on to your boundaries. Not only that, the majority of these women are brainwashed into believing that they can treat men like a doormat and he's just going to stand there and take it because she's a woman. You know that you are doing something right as a man if she is calling you toxic because you are setting your boundaries, keeping your standards, and having expectations. These are also the same women that are actually toxic, controlling, manipulative. The only reason that they're pushing you to be supposedly so toxic is because they want a doormat of a man that they can do whatever they want, and you're still going to sit there with puppy dog eyes, pay for everything, take her on dates, buy her everything, marry her, give her children, so then she can turn around and dump your ass. These women are projecting their own trauma and they're onto you and expecting you to just stand there and take it because they've turned everything into a trauma response. They've turned everything into like somebody else's problem. They've turned it into, we've watered it down so much to everything being about our childhood that it's just another excuse to not take accountability for our own actions and blame the men. Only women that are going to accuse every single man of being toxic are toxic women themselves. Okay, bye.
I don't even think some of these women will dump these types of men because they feel like they found a lapdog. They feel like, oh man, this is the Mecca. This is what I want in a man. I can treat him any type of way and he keeps on coming back. It's essentially what they think that men do to women all the time. Oh, he steps out on me all the time and he knows I ain't going to leave and he knows I just going to keep on giving him some and cooking and cleaning for him. But that's the reverse. Paying for everything, doing everything, and I don't give him no emotional support. I don't give him nothing. I don't sleep with him. None of that. I don't know if they would leave that man.
So there's a few things that I don't do as a married woman. Number one, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number two, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem. I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family. So I am not financially contributing to any of the bills.
Imagine how mean and selfish and delusional you have to be to come on the internet and basically brag about how you do absolutely nothing in your relationship for your husband and your marriage and think that that's a flex. But not only that is imagine for a moment going through your house and keeping tally of all of the things that you're not doing for your husband in a marriage. Seeing laundry on the floor. Nope, not going to do that. Oh, we're financially strapped. Nope, not my problem. Oh, not my problem. Imagine just keeping tally like that and keeping a mental note throughout the course of your relationship and claiming that you still love this person. She doesn't love him because women have this innate ability to be nurturing, caretakers. A lot of women take pride in taking care of their family, and if you don't have that instinct for someone, you do not love them. This is a perfect example of why so many men will say that women and children are loved unconditionally, because she's more than capable of taking care of her children, but basically saying you to the person that created those children. So he was good enough to make babies with, but he's not good enough to take care of. Like, make that make sense. But these are the same types of women that when he gets fed up for not getting something in return or not having the energy reciprocated and he goes out and cheats, now he's a piece of shit. Every single day that I come on this app, I am reminded why so many men have opted out and decided to be single, because who the hell would want to deal with women like this that are so entitled and selfish and only think about themselves while still claiming that they want to be in a relationship, they want to be married, and they claim to love somebody while they're basically using them. Okay, bye.
I'm amazed. I truly am amazed at how many times, they talk about the audacity. I'm amazed at the audacity that these modern women have to get up on here talking about the stuff that they're not going to do. Want a man to beg and plead and yearn for them. Who is going to be yearning for this? Who is going to be begging and pleading for this? This is not a prize. Women are the prize. This is a nightmare.
I literally don't think that people who aren't single mothers understand how hard it is to be a single mother. And like, you don't have to, so like, I get it that you don't understand, but like, oh my God. Let me explain my day to you. I'm in my room. So I work a 9 to 5. So today's Monday, got up at 6, went to work. Before I went to work though, I got everybody's lunch ready, made everybody breakfast, got everybody ready, got myself ready, etc. Made it to work by 9. Worked all day. Picked up my kids. Went to the grocery store to get a full week's worth of groceries. Spent $150. Came home. Had to lug 4 full bags of $150 worth of groceries from Aldi's.
Single mom to single mom here. Just so you know, we do understand and people do understand. They just don't give a because you're not a victim to your situation. You laid down with men and you did it more than once because I read your comments and you have more than one baby daddy and multiple children. That's a you problem and nobody feels bad for you. I don't understand as women, if we're so empowered, why on this app, when I open it every single day, you're crying about, oh, woe is me, my situation is so hard. Like, you created this situation and now you want people to feel bad for you. We don't. And I say that as a single mother. But not only that, everything that you listed, getting groceries after a long ass day and bringing them in the house and doing adult responsibilities is shit you would do with or without children. And I'm just so sick of this narrative, like, woe is me, poor me, oh my God, I'm a single mom. Who cares? Everybody out here is struggling for the most part with or without kids. But not only that, is so many of y'all have so much time to sit on this app and cry about it. Maybe if you put that energy back into your children, back into your responsibilities, practice time management, you know, y'all would be having a much easier time. Like, literally, even in this video, you're like saying to your child that you're in your room, but you're on your phone instead of engaging with your children. Make it make sense. So people do understand. People don't feel bad anymore. You cannot play victim in situations that you created. Okay, bye. A woman's mental load is fake. It is a crock of shit. A woman's mental load is made up, and it is a crock of shit. It is a woman's anxieties that she's put upon herself, and she's taken on more responsibility, and she uses it to self-sacrifice herself as if she's doing more in the relationship to make you feel like most women will take on more and more responsibility without ever having to ask, and they will take on this responsibility as if they're some kind of mortar to the relationship, and the only way the relationship is working out is because she does it all. It's also made up so when she's ready to divorce your ass or needs an excuse to leave you, she has it on a silver platter with a laundry list of expectations and imaginary standards that you didn't even know about. So when she's ready to leave, she'll dump your ass. And it's all just one big manipulation tactic to use it against you later on for not doing enough in the relationship, even though it's all her made up anxieties in the first place. And what's crazy is that some of these women are so delusional is that they use this kind of mental load talk to pretend like they're like oppressed in their relationships because they're taking on too much of responsibilities. Like, so now you're oppressed and your husband or boyfriend is not doing enough because, let me guess, you're thinking about all of the responsibilities that you simply have to do it as an adult. You're resentful and angry about it. Like, can someone make that make sense? Somehow that's your husband's fault for taking on all this imaginary workload to make yourself feel like you're doing more in the relationship as a self-serving act just to use it against him later. As if that's not manipulative. And what's actually crazy is that men do struggle with mental load. This is the exact same mental load that men have, but guess what? Men are told to shut the hell up. They have no support, and they've been told to be quiet since birth. Okay, bye.
Really love the points because modern women do this in dating as well. Well, I went and did my makeup. Well, I went and got this type of outfit. Well, I took off work half a day to get ready for the date. Like, you didn't decide to do that yourself. But once again, I appreciate the effort. That's more than what you're saying to men about what they do. Oh, you gave me flowers, bare minimum. Oh, you sent an Uber to pick me up. That's the least that you can do. You came to pick me up. That's the least that you can do. Oh, you paid for the dinner. Least that you can do. Oh, you spent $100, $200 on a dinner. That's the very least that you can do. You walked me outside, told me you had a good night, texted me when I got home, set up a second date. That's the least that you can do. All the while, what they're doing is saying that's the least that you can do compared to what I would have done for myself. Right, but you're not doing it for yourself, are you? And you wouldn't do it for yourself. And you don't do it for... I take myself out on solo dates. How many times? Not very often. Everybody can take themselves out when they splurge here and there. But you don't be doing that all the time, do you? You be waiting for somebody else to pay for it. As a matter of fact, how about you take me out on a date now? How about you pay for me? But they won't do that. They'll continue to inflate and talk about, oh, I did my makeup and oh, by the way, well, you know, you do your makeup for yourself. Yeah. But listen to this. My lipstick is this much. And then my eyeshadow. And then my blush. And then my contour. And then they build it. And they do the same thing in a relationship. Oh, well, you know, I loaded the dish. It's not enough to just say I did the dishes. I loaded the dishwasher. I emptied the dishwasher. I loaded the washer machine. I emptied it. I loaded the dryer. I emptied the dryer. Still building. Oh, I ran the vacuum and it's just so much. Doesn't matter. All of that stuff is automated. Oh, I went and picked up the groceries. So you mean that you scrolled on your phone in between TikToks and said, you know what? I think I want this added to the cart. I think I want this added to the cart. And you don't even have to do that at one time. You can do that over a period of days. Hey, we need milk. Add milk to the cart. It'll stay there. It's not going nowhere. And when you get done, click purchase. That's it. Be ready at this time, the time that's most convenient for you. And that's it. They try to make it seem like their lives are so hard, but it's really not.
I'm getting so sick and tired of women saying that they want healthy relationships because no, you don't. You absolutely don't want healthy relationships because why the f are you getting so mad when he brings up issues? If you want a healthy relationship, why haven't you learned to communicate better? Or why are you screaming in his face every time he questions you about your behavior? Why are you giving him the silent treatment every time he tries to express his feelings to you or flip it back on him and deflect it when he wants to talk to you about something serious? You don't want a man to take care of you. What you want is to be able to dominate said man so then you can feel more powerful in your role as a woman while you're on OnlyFans or have a roster and you want him to sit back and basically be a simp. Like, how the hell are you going to say that you want peace and healthy relationships when all you're doing is switching men and not changing yourself? You're changing partners to avoid accountability. But then when other women call you out on this same behavior, now they're misogynistic and they're pieces of also. Even though you've proven time and time again with 3 different baby daddies or multiple partners and rosters that you're incapable of having said healthy relationship, and it's all a man's fault. So many women thrive so heavily in all of the chaos while simultaneously preaching that they want security in a relationship. And it's not security that you want. What you really want is to be able to run men, dominate men, treat them like and get everything you want with absolutely nothing in return. Okay, bye. Some of these women out here really want men to show up for them emotionally, but they never try to understand a man's perspective. Every single time a man tries to talk about his feelings, he's often shut down, it's used against him later on, or women somehow make it about themselves. How is it that you want a man to understand you, but you don't take the time to understand him or understand his perspective? Some of y'all, instead of understanding a man's perspective, you're going to call him immature or say that he's a loser or call him a narcissist. You fail to understand that men are natural providers and they have a lot of stress when it comes to wanting to provide for you. And guess what happens? He gets to risk you leaving for the next guy that might be able to provide more. If he's not providing enough, then you're going to fall for the next guy that's giving you more attention. And he has everything to lose. Some of y'all become so vindictive that you take everything from him and take his kids and give him the bare minimum time. But then you want to call that immature or lack of emotional availability. But where is your emotional availability? A lot of men are out here doing their best, but they're scared. Because what kind of man is going to tell a woman that he's scared? He's scared of risking everything for her. He's not going to fucking tell you that. He's not going to tell you that because he knows that you're going to laugh in his face or look at him as weak. So what is he supposed to do? So many women are so quick to say that men are so emotionally unavailable, but women are just as emotionally stunted in the sense that they can never understand or never will understand or want to understand a man's perspective. Isn't that the same thing? Okay, bye.
To the contrary, there are a lot of men out there, still even to this day, telling women, I'm worried about that. I'm scared. But they're not saying I'm scared. When they tell you not to go to the club, they're saying to you, I'm worried about this. I think this could be a problem. I'm concerned about this. They might not say it out loud verbatim like that, but that's what they're telling you. Hey, I wouldn't go to the club. I wouldn't go on that girls trip because you have this. Oh, well, you're being controlling and narcissistic. And even if they say, well, don't worry about it. So-and-so's here, so-and-so. Basically what you're saying is I'm going to continue to do whatever I want to do, regardless of your concerns. Right. And then when you call that man at 3 o'clock in the morning and he has to come get you all the way on the other side of town and he got to go to work. Oh, man, I love my husband. I love my man so much. He came and he's always there for me. Yeah, but you're not thinking about the after effects of that man having to get up, drive all the way across town, even if it's just 30 minutes. That's an hour that he just lost. And then when he's drowsy or getting up in the morning, all of a sudden it's, oh, well, do you want a hug? Man, I'm so tired. I'm so sorry. The least that you could do is order that man breakfast. How about we start there? But they won't do that because they're going to be laid up in the bed with their mouth open, drool coming out of it. And the man don't get nothing but thanks for coming and getting me. Nothing special. That's the bare minimum. The bare minimum at that point would be you not being irresponsible. But how many modern women are going to look at it like that? Men be telling y'all, this is how I feel. Y'all just don't be listening.
Men only care about 50-50 when it benefits them. Let me explain. What I mean by this is, have you ever noticed that when women bring up a 50-50 conversation, it always has to do with household chores, emotional labor, cooking and cleaning? But the conversation is almost never about when was the last time that you fixed his car? When was the last time you took his car for an oil change? When was the last time that man got to sit on the couch and not hang your pictures on the wall? When was the last time you fixed the plumbing or fixed your own car? Exactly, because 50-50 is not a real thing unless it benefits women. So let me get this straight. Women have added all of this emotional labor and all of these house chores while he's been working. And what does he get in return? He gets lukewarm effort. He gets lack of loyalty. He gets nagging. He gets a bad attitude. He gets a woman that doesn't value the relationship and doesn't take pride in taking care of a family or him. Women will almost never acknowledge a man's labor in the relationship because it's expected. But when he expects her to cook and clean, oh no, now it's a problem. And you see this a lot when women go to get divorced. The only other time that women give about 50-50 is when you're going through a divorce. Again, because it benefits them. So it's just crazy to me that this is still a conversation, because if you truly believed in 50-50, that man wouldn't have to add more to his plate while you simply sit back and do the same things that you've always been doing. Okay, bye. If a man actually did this is nothing short of genius and absolutely hilarious. This is exactly what women do to men all day long because they don't want to treat them like human beings based off attractiveness. And now that she's getting it in return, she actually posts this video and the hashtag was misogynistic and awareness. Like, how delusional do you have to be to make up a video that says awareness. Like, girl, where are you being, and where is it misogynistic because a man didn't fulfill your sense of entitlement that he is expected to help you? Like, what? And you don't think that's delusional? Women have spent the last decade saying they need no man, they rather choose a bear, that they don't owe men. So why would you expect a man to help you? If you actually look at this video in the concrete, you can tell that there's two people standing there. So let me guess, you're standing there with your friend, and guess what? She won't even help you. Because if women support women, then why is she not calling you an Uber? Why is she not figuring out how to get you a tank of gas? Why is it up to the men that women have shown constantly to help you? Like, it's absolutely king if a man actually did this. But we all know damn well that that's not what happened. And this is a made up story to solidify a woman's hatred for men. And if anything, women should be cheering about this, because this is a perfect example of equality. And this is what women have been begging for. So it's basically the consequences of your own actions. Okay, bye.
Modern women, first of all, this is insecurity. This is a self-esteem issue that you need to take care of. That don't have nothing to do with the man. But I don't know why you guys are thinking that a man is still here to protect you, and you not give anything in return. Like, you guys are thinking that all men are here to police and to enforce whatever it is you got going on, but then you do nothing for the man. Sure, a man might stop and say, man, I just did that out of the kindness of my heart. But usually the kindness of their heart comes from something that comes back around in society. Well, you treated me this way, man, so I ain't got no problem with it. I'm just paying it forward. I would want somebody to do that to my daughter. And guess what? I'm training my daughter to do this and act like this and be like this toward. I'm training my son to do this and act like this and be this towards other people. So I'm training them so that everything can go around in a circle. But what you're doing and what's causing a rift in society is when they come back around, the circle is stopping at you. The acts of kindness and the going bit in between is stopping at you as a modern woman. By posting this stuff, he didn't want to help me. He didn't want to do this. He didn't want to pay for my lunch. You got to pay to talk to me. The circle is stopping at you. And that's why men say, you know what? Let me pull on off. Let me go my way. Let me make sure my daughter and my son, when they run into people like this, they go the other direction. You. Why ain't men helping? Because you're not the same person that they were in the 1950s. You're not doing all of that same stuff. You out here expecting the man to continue doing the things he was doing back in the 1950s or however long it was. But you don't do none of that stuff. You're not nice to men. You don't say thank you. You're not grateful for anything. You're not going to marry the man. You're not going. And even if you do, you're not going to be happy to have the man's babies. You're not going to be happy to help the man build a legacy. Everything that the man does is going to be scrutinized by you, his wife. It's all going to be scrutinized as if he did something wrong every day. Can you imagine for 30 years, every day it's a test, every single freaking day? That's a miserable existence. Oh, he didn't do that. How dare you? Oh, he didn't do. Wow. Divorce. What man is going to be around that? What man is going to continue to say, yep, this is what I signed up for and I love it? Trash.